Hello everyone, welcome to my sad little corner of the internet. I have a cup of coffee. If you don't have a cup of coffee, go get one. If you're a tea drinker, you're not the type of person I need in my life. No, just kidding. Go get something to drink and let's start the video. If you watched my last video, you already know how I feel about social justice warriors. I don't exactly have a high opinion of them, and the same thing pretty much goes for feminists. Now, before you jump to the comment section and tell me that I am a misogynist, I am a woman myself. I understand there are plenty of well-intentioned feminists out there who sincerely care about the equality of both genders. And honestly, if you are one of those feminists, then don't feel addressed. I just think feminism got hijacked by angry women with a victim complex. The ideology often seems to be about female superiority rather than gender equality, and is infamous for its following on the internet and in mainstream media. They attack everyone who even slightly disagrees with them, and will desperately look for things that confirm their own views. People like Anita Sarkeesian and Zoe Quinn are professional victims who refuse to debate their critics and will play the harassment card every time when someone points out the errors in their ideology. Obviously, Tumblr and Twitter are a battlefield when it comes down to angry feminist brain farts, and today we are going through some of those brain farts. I selected these tweets because they were either funny, dumb, or just frustrating. I plan on making this a series, with this being the first episode. Thanks for watching.
I support equality, but feminism is insane and a vice. Only makes sense if you believe sexism isn't really a problem.
Nope, you got that wrong, mate. It makes sense because feminism is flawed. I'm not talking about the feminists who fought for the right to vote, or the right to have a job. I am talking about the angry keyboard warriors who treat every man like he is guilty until proven innocent. I'm talking about the feminists who tell me that I am strong, yet need them to stand up for me and speak for me. I am talking about those people. Feminism isn't the only tool we have to work on a better world for future generations. I highly doubt if modern feminism has even made a positive change in this world. I mean, there is no doubt feminism is still needed in, let's say, the Middle East, but in the West, feminism has poisoned everything. If you want to fight for equality, you are on the wrong boat. Feminism got hijacked by uninformed loudmouths, and I don't think the damage they have done to the image of feminism can be repaired. Go for egalitarianism or something if you want to fight for equality. Honestly, I think that's the way to go.
Hashtag yes all women, because if you can teach a dog the meaning of the word no, it shouldn't be a difficult concept for men.
You act as if men are these lawless beasts who pounds on everything that has a heartbeat, and that simply isn't true. You act as if you are in a Walking Dead-like situation, where men are these idiotic zombies that attack everything on sight. Do sexist men exist? Yeah. Do sexist women exist? Yeah. Do both men and women sometimes get discriminated against based upon their gender? Hell, yes, that happens. But the fact that something happens doesn't mean it's a huge issue. The fact that someone said nice ass or something when you walked by is no evidence that there is institutionalized sexism. It's no proof of the existence of your so-called patriarchy either. Hell, when I am in a big city, I sometimes get asked by addicts if I have drugs to sell. Is that now evidence that the European Union is part of a huge international drug conspiracy? Jesus Christ.
The growing up a girl hashtag highlights why the world needs feminism. Young women shouldn't have to grow up in fear.
The existence of a hashtag is no indication of the importance of that hashtag. What you are using here is the bandwagon fallacy. You assume that, just because X is popular, X is good. Do you realize there have been some terrible Twitter trends in the last few years? Do you know there once was a replace band names with rape trend? I don't find that trend funny or offensive, and honestly don't care much about it, but I assume angry feminists weren't happy with it. Welp, I guess it was good because it was popular.
Yes all women, because when I rejected a stranger's proposal to leave the bar and go home with him, he threatened to kill me and my family. Hashtag yes all women, because this is a real tweet.
If this happened to you, then that was bad. I really think that, there isn't a single reasonable person out there who thinks it is okay to threaten to kill a person and that person's family. There is absolutely no excuse that justifies doing such a thing. But what if I replace the variables of your tweet? What if I would say, a black man once threatened to kill me? This is why we need whiteism. Yes, all whites. That's exactly what you sound like.
Nothing makes me angrier than men who try to debate about rape or sexism and then pull the, oh, I'm just trying to have a logical debate and be a critical thinker card. Enjoy the privilege of being able to talk about rape with no emotional attachment. Duh. Enjoy the privilege of rape being so abstract from your life that it's just a logical debate for you. Some of us aren't so lucky. This! Hashtag rape culture, hashtag sexism, hashtag privilege, hashtag feminism, big Twitter, blah, 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 blah.
Well, I'm really bad. You picked the right name for your account. Just saying. And, Harry... I don't understand you. I don't understand the two of you. How dare you say that you know what rape is just because you are a woman? How dare you say that men don't know what rape is just because they are men? Men get raped too, period. We know this. It's a fact. The sad reality is that men don't even dare to admit it because people like you exist. Male rape victims feel like no one takes them serious, and that must be a terrible feeling for any rape victim. The only people who know what rape is like is someone who actually got raped. Having female genitals doesn't qualify you more to speak about the topic. I also don't get why you have such a deep hatred for logical debates and critical thinkers. Do you prefer yes-nodders who yell amen every time you're done preaching? Let me tell you something, lass. Not a single issue has been solved with emotional rants and gut feelings. You need debates and critical thinking to find solutions to problems. Just yelling how bad rape is, blindly believing every rape allegation won't make things better. Not everyone who claims to have been raped actually has been raped. And I know what you think. How could someone lie about that? Well, there are some terrible people out there.
Ugly old men can show their nipples, but women can't. I am disgusted. Hashtag feminism.
I like how you want to demand respect for women by saying something disrespectful about men. Looks or age don't matter, and if we're going to say people are allowed to walk around shirtless or topless, then we shouldn't go, oh, welp, looks like you are 50. You're disgusting, go away. Let me tell you something about underwear and swimwear. It was made to cover the parts of the body that are associated with sex. For men, that's this area. And for women, it's these areas. That doesn't mean that other body parts can sexually arouse someone. I know plenty of girls who like a muscled torso or nice hands. And I know lots of men who fancy a certain hair color or a nice belly, for example. But whether we like it or not, female breasts and male breasts are just different. Now, do I think it's wrong for a woman to walk around topless? No. No, I don't. I am from the Netherlands, for Christ's sake. I am very down to earth about these things, and I sincerely do not care what you do or don't wear. It's none of my business. And I know there are lots of people who will agree. I mean, there are countries out there where it is completely acceptable for women to walk around topless. And yet you will see that even in those countries, most women prefer to wear a bikini top. Instead of accepting that this is those women's personal choice, you will continue to yell sexism and patriarchy. Not every difference between men and women is intentionally created. Not every difference between men and women is sexist. Some things just are different. Oh, wait, this looks good. Hey, finally a reasonable person. Women against feminism. Oh, woman against feminism. At no to feminism. Okay, let's see what this is about. Oh, what? LOL. Feminism? Feminism? Feminism. LOL feminism. And what? I don't need femimsy because not all men. Exclamation point, exclamation point, exclamation point, exclamation point. Are men somewhat two giant sentient potatoes on top of each other wearing a coat and a hat? What? No! No! Please, NTF, you are my only hope. Why? Oh well. Let's just continue. Alright, what's next? Huh? What?
Not all men are monsters. Imagine a bowl of M&Ms. 10% of them are poisoned. Go ahead, eat a handful. Not all M&Ms are poison. Hashtag yes, all women.
Oh, seriously? What the hell? You have any idea how incredibly sexist it is what you're saying? Let me tell you something. In my life, I had to put up with more discrimination from women than from men. Do you have any idea how harsh girls can be to each other? If one woman gets a promotion, her female colleagues say behind her back that she probably slept with the boss or got the job because of her looks. Comments on butts and boobs, being too big or too small, are made by women too, if not more often by women. Have you been to high school, for Christ's sake? Welcome to the real world. If you would make a meme saying, not all Jews are monsters, 10% of them are poisoned, go ahead, eat a handful, it would be anti-Semitic and hate speech. But you use the banner of feminism to come across like you're the good guy here, while you're really not. But you know what? Fine. As a heterosexual woman, I don't care whether or not you like men. Feel free to stay away from them. More left for me.
Girls grow up knowing that it's safer to give a fake phone number than to turn a guy down.
You again. Well, let's see what you've posted this time. Okay, this makes no sense. Writing something down and turning it into a meme doesn't make it true. I've turned down guys before, and I never had problems with it. You act as if turning someone down will result in you getting beaten up. You're using idiotic stories that are so fucking rare that they make it to the news and try to make it look as if this happens frequently.
Because we're taught, don't leave your drink alone instead of don't drug someone. Hashtag yes, all women.
Why don't you just go away? Jesus, your logic is so flawed. There are certain things that no parent specifically teaches their children. At no point, my mom literally told me that I shouldn't murder people. At no point, my mom literally told my brother he couldn't hit women. There are certain things, believe it or not, that you just know or learn when growing up. And whenever the discussion was about sex, in our household, and consent, my mom made perfectly clear both me and my brother knew that you had to respect it if someone else didn't want to have sex with you. However, teaching people to be good to others doesn't mean the future will be safer. It doesn't mean rape won't happen any longer. This utopia that you think of is absolute bullshit. What's wrong with teaching your children to be cautious? Didn't your parents used to tell you, don't take candy from strangers? Did that ever make you think, hey, why don't we just teach people not to kidnap children? No, you didn't think that, because you perfectly understood that even being raised well is no guarantee that you won't become a criminal later on in your life. The risk is too fucking high, and you don't want to gamble with the safety of your children. Why not teaching them to be careful and teach our kids to be good to others? You act as if these two exclude each other and they don't. It pisses me off.
Slut is attacking women for their right to say yes. Friendzone is attacking women for their right to say no.
Look, I think you are taking the internet a bit too seriously here. I'm not saying slut-shaming isn't a thing, but that word sort of lost its original meaning, hasn't it? I have discovered that the word slut became a regular insult, just like the word retard is an insult. When someone calls another person a retard, he's not necessarily implying that said person has a mental disorder. The same thing goes for words like faggot and, yes, the word slut. And even when the word slut is used in that fashion, it is often used by women. I've heard other women slut-shaming a woman more than I've heard men doing it. And this is, of course, my personal experience, but still. And really? You're angry about the word friendzone? I've never heard the word friendzone in a serious context. It's an internet meme, an internet joke. It's used to describe people like Sir Jorah Mormont and Severus Snape. It's funny and harmless.
The fact that so many women feel the need to justify feminism by explaining how it benefits men as well is a perfect example of why we still need it.
No, love. The fact that there is so much legitimate criticism that you need to defend feminism all the time should tell you something. The fact that how feminism benefits men requires explanation should tell you something. It's no evidence of feminism being good or needed. It actually proves the opposite. I clicked on that link you posted, and I found a Slate article that said that men kill women in the USA so often that it's usually not even newsworthy. I mean, what type of argument is that? I mean, men kill more men than they kill women. And of course it's tragic when someone gets killed, but murders are committed so frequently in the US that it's hardly ever news. That has nothing to do with the position of women in society. Every year, an average of more than 100,000 people are shot in the United States of America. Every day, an average of 289 people. 86 of them die, 30 are murdered, 53 kill themselves, 2 people die in accidents, and 1 person gets shot in a police intervention, on average. Do you really think we can cover all of those tragedies? I'm sorry, I just don't think that's possible.
You will let women work the shaft then, Jeremy. Hashtag yes all women.
Did you get the point of this tweet or didn't you? Jeremy Corbyn, and I hope I'm not butchering that name, didn't say he wanted women to work the shaft. Although that would be an idea feminists would be okay with because they are for equality and all that, while these types of jobs are usually occupied by men. But that wasn't the man's point. Jeremy Corbyn wasn't talking about the gender of the people doing this. He was saying men in general. He was saying men as in employees. This was about the minimum wage. This was about how much money these people earn, not about whether or not they are male or female. I love how you go out of your way to find something to get offended by.
Hashtag yes all women, because I was taught to scream fire instead of rape because it increases the chance of someone coming to help.
Yes, I was walking down the street a while ago when suddenly I heard someone yell fire. So I had a look to see what was going on, and then I saw that there wasn't actually a fire, it was just a woman getting raped. So obviously I turned around and walked away because fuck that. Don't tell me you believe all this.
Hashtag yes all women. When did he stop treating you like a princess? It's never too late to put an end to it.
Sorry, I don't like princesses. I never have, never will. A princess in the classic meaning of the word is a lady who gets herself locked up in towers, waiting to be rescued by something or someone. Sounds like something feminists wouldn't be into. But you act as if there is no gray area between getting beaten up or getting treated like a princess. There is. Don't spew bullshit. Oh well, luckily enough there are also reasonable feminists out there, like this lady. I wish there were more people like her, and I wish they were more vocal. Oh, and this lady is, spot on as well. And this woman, well, sorry Riot News, she is absolutely right.